Welcome to Q Conversations, Episode 1. My name is Park Hopper Chris, and this podcast is all about things you do in a queue, a type of conversation you do in a queue, whether it's for food or an attraction, just a way to have time pass by while you're in a queue. Literally a casual conversation. In a theme park, we all have to wait in a queue. Whether it's a lightning lane or a fast pass, a queue is there. And so please join me as we have this queue conversation. It'll also just be about theme parks in general, a good old yap session. This podcast is available to you on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a visual version on YouTube. If you want to see my face, it's here on YouTube for you. So real quick, a funny story about the name of this podcast. So originally, it was supposed to be called In the Queue Podcast, which I loved and I adored. I was really proud of the name. If you're familiar with my series of Sunday Ride Showcase, you'll know at the end of each episode, I'll say, I'll see you in the queue. A little cool, kind of corny-ish way. It rhymes, you, Q, so I really wanted that to be the name, but I'm kind of an idiot. The name was already taken. I should have looked it up before hitting upload, because I uploaded an entire episode already. It was ready to go live. I was ready to drop it and be like, hey guys, here's a podcast. But right before hitting upload, I had it scheduled. I was like, let me make sure no one else has this name. Sure enough, there's a couple people who use this name, and one of them is not recognizable, but they have an audience for sure. And I was really bummed out. I was really disappointed. I was kind of discouraged, to be honest. And this was like a week or two ago as of recording this. And I almost just pushed this off for much longer. But, I was like, let me not just push this off. I really wanted to do this podcast. I did reach out to them, and they were very kind and gracious, because I asked them, I was like, hey, I'm sorry I didn't look up this name previously. I already recorded an entire episode. Would it be okay if I use In the Queue as the name of my podcast? And they were like, of course, you definitely can. But I thought about it for a while, and I was like, it just didn't feel right to me. So I came up with this name, Q Conversations, which I kind of like a little better. It feels very casual and cordial, which is what I'm aiming for with this podcast. So, if it's something you would like, please join me on this podcast. Please follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, subscribe on YouTube, and I'll be here for you. I see the views. I get a little bit of traction. I see the views. And if you're a supporter of mine, I really, really appreciate you. The more you show up for me, the more I will show up for you. So here is a podcast for your enjoyment, for our enjoyment, to have a casual conversation in a queue for a ride. It could be Tron, which, would be probably a 90-minute conversation. It could be the Incredible Hulk coaster at Universal Orlando. It could be the Simpsons ride at Universal Hollywood. We're in a queue. We're here to talk. Let's talk. It's 12 o'clock here. I'm on my second cup of coffee. I might have a third. I love coffee. It is beautiful. Beautiful. Anyways, I know what you're thinking, or may not be thinking, but why a podcast? Simply, the answer to this is, why not? I know there's thousands of podcasts out there, probably millions, to be honest. Everyone's talking. Everyone who has a microphone and a computer, they're able to record themselves and have this type of conversation. For me personally, I don't think there's enough podcasts on theme parks. There are a few, and I've listened to a couple, but I don't think there's one casual enough like this. Because I want it to be super casual. Most of them out there are pretty niche. I mean, we're already in this niche part of content in terms of theme parks. But yeah, I love podcasts. I have kind of a long commute to work, enough where I can listen to an entire episode of a podcast. And sometimes I feel like it's not enough. I need more. I need more podcasts because I'm pretty particular and picky with my podcasts. I only listen to a couple. But every time they release an episode, I get very excited. So if this is something you enjoy, welcome. Welcome. I'm going to try to have some guests on here. I will reach out to them. Maybe they'll have a conversation with us. If you would like to join the podcast, feel free to reach out to me. I'm not sure how often this podcast will be up. Because on top of editing this and Sunday Ride Showcase, it can be a lot sometimes, but I'm going to try my best to have it often. So in this first episode, I want to talk about opinions. It's going to be very opinionated, this first episode. I feel like a lot of episodes will be very opinionated, but this one in particular, I will tell you my opinions, sort of an introduction to who I am and why I do this, or what I enjoy in a theme park, my favorite rides, etc. So I have a list of topics here, and I see, let's talk about things you do in a queue. Speaking of queues, I mean, I feel like there's not many things you can do in a queue, because like I said, we're all in a queue all the time, even out of theme parks. We're in a line for something. The most easiest thing to do in a queue is just talk. Unless you're alone, then I guess you'll just be on your phone or something. But if there's anything else out there, I feel like there is a lot of quirky things people do in a queue to help pass the time. I know there's the heads up game I see a lot. I've done it a few times in a queue. But I don't know if there's anything else that you guys do in a queue. Let me know. I would like to know. Please comment. Another thing I have written down on this list is why I love theme parks. Okay, this one, it's going to be very cliche and corny, this answer. So apologize in advance. So for me personally, when I step into a theme park, from the very beginning, from the entrance of the theme park, I scan my ticket in, I say thank you to the person scanning my ticket, and I walk in, and I hear the music playing, especially in Disney. We'll get to that in a second. But I hear, carnival music playing. Even in carnivals, this gives me this feeling. I can just envision it. I step through the turnstile. I hear the music. I smell popcorn. I smell cotton candy. It's one of the greatest feelings ever for me, personally. It's like I'm stepping into a wonderland where I can just forget about everything else in this world, and it's just me and the grounds of the theme park. Theme parks are a real escape for me. Escapism is a real thing, especially for me in theme parks. Ever since I was a little kid, as early as maybe 4 or 5 years old, I remember hitting carnivals, but there was one park in particular where I was just I just had so much fun. It was Six Flags New England in Agawam, Massachusetts. It was my local Six Flags. It was a theme park I went to often, because originally I am from Connecticut, and that was the park my family went to. But my first time going, I was about maybe 5-ish or 4. I can't remember. Something like that. But even though I was the smallest kid out of, my family, between my cousins and my sisters and stuff, I still had a blast riding these rides by myself, like walking around with my dad in that park in the little kids area, riding the little kiddie rides. It was so fun. I remember the Batman stunt show that they had at the time. It was like I was just blown away. And then I got to take pictures with Batman and Robin and stuff. It was so cool. So yeah, that's like my earliest memory of theme parks and just feeling like wow, this like I can just have fun. And every time I step foot in a theme park, it brings me back to that first time where I'm just like a kid again and I get to enjoy everything that a theme park brings, whether it's like the food, meeting like characters, and riding the rides. On top of why I love theme parks are freaking rides. Rides are amazing. I can ride them all day, every day, especially roller coasters. I love a good roller coaster. I love a good, tall, super tall, over 200 feet coaster. That is my type of thing. I'm a thrill seeker. I am an adrenaline junkie. I love the feeling of just being lifted out of my seat and dropping down into the ground. Not literally, but you know what I mean. My first roller coaster, I was probably like 7 or 8, and I went on by myself. I didn't know what I was thinking. I sat in the back. I was like, I don't want to sit next to anybody. I'm gonna sit in the back. I was by myself, and it was a wooden coaster. I think it was Wildcat at Lake Compounce in Bristol, Connecticut, and I was terrified. I was like, I'm never gonna ride a roller coaster ever again. But that was my own mistake. I didn't know what I was doing. It wasn't up until I was like maybe like 13 where I got the courage again again, it took me a while to get used to it, but I went to Universal Orlando when I was about 13 with a friend, and he kind of forced me to ride the Incredible Hulk coaster, and sitting on that ride I was petrified. My eyes were closed the entire time, but by the end of the ride I was like, that wasn't that bad. So we rode it again, and the second time I fully enjoyed it. From then on, I was able to ride any single ride that exists, in terms of coasters, because there's some rides I will not get on. But yeah, that was one of my favorite trips. I got to ride Dueling Dragons. That doesn't exist anymore. I rode both the red and blue dragon, and they were both dueling. Because there was a time after a while of Dueling Dragons where they would only do one coaster at a time. But when I rode it, they dueled like every single time, and I rode both of them. So I'm very, very fortunate to have ridden that ride, because that ride was awesome. Freaking awesome. I was a red dragon myself. I preferred the red one. It was a lot more hectic. A lot of people say the blue one was like tamer, smoother, they would say. They were both pretty crazy, but I guess I could agree. If you rode that ride, let me know, because you know exactly what I'm talking about when that ride was awesome. So speaking of rides that I love, I guess we can talk about my favorite ride. So it's so hard. Like, how could you have a favorite ride? Honestly, truly. Like, you can tell me your favorite ride is Space Mountain. Okay, maybe you can pinpoint it. That's good. Good job. I can't. There are too many rides that exist in this world that are phenomenal. Space Mountain is probably in my top 10. I don't know about top 5. Maybe top 5. That's kind of cutting it, to be honest. But every single time I ride Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, 50% of the time I walk out of that ride, I usually say that's the best ride in the entire world, because truly that ride is freaking nuts. It's so fun, especially if you get the right song, which is Everybody Wants to Rule the World. That's the best song. No questions asked. That is the best song. That ride is just so fun. Like, if you know, basically. There are other rides that I truly, truly love, like Velocicoaster. That's another insane ride. Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure. Like it's just nonstop action with that ride. There's this ride called Verbolten in Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, which is a very underrated park. Oh, Griffin there too. I love Griffin with all my heart. Six Flags New England, as I mentioned earlier. There's a ride there that is near and dear to my heart, and I will always stand by that coaster. Is Superman the Ride. I have fond memories of that ride. I love sitting in the front of that ride because it makes you feel like it's just you and the coaster. Like there's nobody else there. Well, the person next to you and you and the coaster in front. I love sitting on the sitting on the front of any ride. Like I feel like that's truly the best experience for a ride. Like yeah, they say the back, has more forces that really lift you out of the seat, which is true because I've sat in the back before, and I get it. It's you get more of that feeling, but personally, I'm gonna sit in the front because I like the front more. But yeah, Superman the Ride, I've rode like I would say upwards of like maybe 30 times, to be honest, in my lifetime, because there was a summer where I went a few times, and those few times I rode it at least 6 times each time. It was just so fun, but yeah, other rides I really love Tower of Terror. I think for Tower of Terror, if you like that type of ride, I think it's not just the ride itself, like the whole elevator dropping and stuff, like that element is really fun, but there's just like the theming of that ride is like beautiful. Really makes you feel like you're in a haunted hotel. Very 1900s aesthetic is just awesome. That whole little scene where the elevator just goes out into the Twilight Zone and then into the drop shaft is beautiful. It's phenomenal. I think what truly makes the ride special for me is the people that you're riding that ride with. If everyone's laughing and like just like cheering and having a great time just dropping up and down, it makes it so much more fun. Every single time I ride that ride, also what is it called? Mission Breakout in California Adventure. Same thing. It's just the vibes are always there. It's so fun. Everyone's laughing, having a great time. There's little kids crying, which makes it more fun. I know it sounds cruel, but it's kind of funny seeing kids cry on a ride. But yeah, that ride is truly, truly fun. Let's just see the other rides that I've covered. El Toro, that ride is insane. I haven't rode it in years. It's been years, but Six Flags Great Adventure is awesome. They have a bunch of rides, a bunch of good thrill rides, and El Toro is one of them. I only rode it once, and I need to ride it again soon. It is November now, and the season's basically over, so it's probably going to be next year when I ride it again, if I ride it again. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, I love that ride. It's so fun. I never got to ride the Great Movie Ride, which a lot of people they hate Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway because it replaced the Great Movie Ride, and a lot of people loved that ride. I never got to ride it, so I don't really understand. I guess I can in a way, but you can't just hate this ride because of that reason. It's a fun ride. It's a very fun ride. Oh, Revenge of the Mummy at Universal Orlando. That is one of the best rides I've ever been on. If it wasn't for Velocicoaster or Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure, I think Revenge of the Mummy would be my favorite ride at Universal Orlando. I love that ride. It's so fun. I don't know why it's so different at Universal Hollywood. Like it's like almost opposite. It just felt off when I rode it at Hollywood. I was like, what the heck was that? It just didn't feel the same, to be honest. I don't know why it's it's the best at Universal Orlando. I don't know why. But yeah, I don't know. I can't pinpoint a favorite ride. Maybe one day I'll make a top 10 list or a top 5 list or something like that. But I'm telling you, it'll probably be different. If I made that list today, it would probably be different like a few months from now. Now, since I have favorite rides, naturally, I have least favorite rides. There are a few rides I don't like, and I covered one of them on Sunday Ride Showcase. If we can follow it, there it is. It's a Small World. I can't stand this ride. I hate sitting in that tiny little boat, hearing them sing for like 10 minutes straight. It's borderline nightmarish. It's like, I get it. It's cute. It's kind of a catchy song, kind of. After a while, it gets very annoying. You're just sitting there in that tiny little boat. Like, it's so old. It was great for that time period, but now it's just, I can't ride it. I can't. I refuse to ride it. If there's someone in my group that really wants to ride it, I'll ride it out of love for them. But other than that, I am avoiding this ride. I will not sit in that boat. I will not sit in that boat willingly. 100% no. I'm sorry if you really love that ride. I'm sorry. I just can't. No thanks. I think that's the only ride I really dislike that I covered. I only covered it because someone requested it. Carousel of Progress, I can tolerate. Preferably, I don't want to ride it, but I can tolerate it. The song is a bit catchier. It's also, cool to see, like the story it tells. It's pretty nice. Another ride I really dislike, I haven't covered on Sunday Ride Showcase, but I really don't like this ride. For particular reasons. 1, it makes me dizzy. 2, it gives me a headache. 3, it feels like I have a concussion every time I walk off of this ride. It is Rockin' Roller Coaster, the Aerosmith ride, soon to be Muppets ride at Hollywood Studios. Every time I ride that, I rode it maybe twice in my life. Every single time I step off, I'm dizzy for the next like few hours, and it takes a while for me to recover. I want to like that ride. It's a roller coaster, and it has a launch. I love launches. If a ride has a launch, I'm in it. I love it instantly. Tron, I love. Verbolten, I love. Anything with a launch. Hagrid's, I love. Velocicoaster, beautiful, multiple launches. Rockin' Roller Coaster, it's just, there's too many loops. My head just bangs around the freaking seat all the time. And I just don't feel great stepping off of that ride, honestly. I don't know if it's like just because of me, like I have some type of motion sickness with that ride. I get really bad motion sickness on Star Tours. Holy moly. I can't ride that ride. That's another ride I hate because of the motion sickness. Forbidden Journey at Universal, I get pretty bad motion sickness when it gets in front of the screen and you're like flying through. It's just something with screens and like moving like aggressively. I can't do that. I could do Soarin', it's fine because I'm just like sitting and it's fine. Flight of Passage is fine for some reason. It's like perfect, to be honest. Like rarely do I get motion sickness on Flight of Passage. Mission Space, no thank you. That ride should not exist. It's a simulator that simulates sickness. Out of everything, it simulates sickness. I hate that ride. Please get rid of it. But yeah, Rockin' Roller Coaster, I can't do. I don't know, maybe it's like an age thing, but every person I rode that ride with, they said they also hate it. Granted, the only person I rode it with was my wife. But I mean, we both get sickness We both get sickness from that ride, and it's not a great feeling. But yeah, I don't think there's any other ride I hate. Like there are rides that I don't hate other rides. Like there's rides I won't get on. Not out of hate, just simply because I feel like it's a waste of time. That sounds a little crazy, but to be honest with you, Rise of the Resistance, I don't feel like it's worth the wait. And I don't feel like it's worth the individual lightning lane. I get it. It's a Marvel. It's a very thematic ride. It's one of the best rides I've ever rode, to be honest, in terms of theming and just over the topness, if that's a thing. Rise of the Resistance, it's a fun ride. Don't get me wrong. I will ride it, but sometimes I don't want to spend the extra money on a lightning lane because at the same time, I'm not going to sit in a queue for 90 minutes. There's just no way. I can't do that. Because personally, for queues, I try to avoid standby queues at all times. If there's a faster queue option available, I will do it. I will do Lightning Lane all the time at Disney. I will do Fast Pass at Universal. I will do the Flash Pass at Six Flags. If there's a faster option, I will do it because I don't want to spend half the day in a queue. If every big ride is a 60-minute plus wait, that's a waste of time, to be honest. I want to enjoy the park. I want to enjoy the attractions. I want to do everything I can in a theme park, especially because like theme parks are not cheap. They're very expensive. I want to get my money's worth, honestly. And I feel like Rise of the Resistance isn't worth the 90-minute wait. Another Disney ride I feel like isn't worth the wait. Sometimes the wait isn't even that bad, but I don't want to ride it all the time, honestly, is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. It is a fun ride. Like I will ride it. I will ride it. But I'm not going to go out of my way to try to ride it. Like I have to walk all the way to the back of Frontierland to get on this ride. I would much rather ride Tiana's Bayou Adventure and get soaked than ride Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, to be honest with you. Like I said, it is a fun ride, but it just doesn't do anything for me anymore. I used to like the ride a lot, but I rode it so much that it came to a point where I'm like, let's skip it. And you know what? That's okay. You don't have to judge me for that. Maybe you are, and that's fine. Totally fine. I get it. Now, with favorite rides and least favorite rides, there are my favorite theme parks. This also changes because I can actually narrow it down to one theme park. Maybe. You see what I mean? It's really hard. In the moment, it's just hard to pinpoint because there are a lot of great theme parks out there. There are ones that mean more to me personally. There are other theme parks that are fantastic in terms of their lineup of rides, and those typically deserve a fan favorite or just a favorite in general. But this is a personal list, a personal opinion. It's very opinionated, and when it comes to theme parks and rides, a lot of people have strong opinions. Clearly, because, I do right here, right now. But if you were to ask me right now in this moment, my favorite theme park right now is probably Epcot. It changes between Epcot and Disney's California Adventure. Now, I'm going to start with Epcot first. Epcot is perfect for the vibes. If the vibes are there, it's a beautiful park. Perfect park, to be honest. The reason why I love Epcot so much is because there's a lot of culture there. And you don't get that often at theme parks. experiencing World Showcase is my favorite part of Epcot, on top of Cosmic Rewind, of course, which is one of the best rides in the world. That World Showcase is so fun to just walk around, experience each country, experience the drinks, experience the food. If the drinks are flowing, the vibes are flowing, and it's just really fun to just be an adult, especially an adult at Epcot. Drinking around the world is so fun. It sounds like, like I'm an alcoholic, but it's just really fun, to be honest with you. And you don't get to really experience that at a lot of other theme parks. Busch Gardens Williamsburg, I was blown away by that park. It's very beautiful. It feels like I'm walking in nature half the time. It's so clean. Like there's so many plants, so many trees. It's like, wow, it feels like you're like walking in a trail in the woods half the time. It's really, really nice. On top of that, they have little countries you can experience. It's like a mini Epcot with more roller coasters. Busch Gardens Williamsburg is really fun, very underrated park. I think that's the thing with me is it's all about the vibes. Bro? It's all about the vibes, man. I don't know. There's just something about Epcot. I think because essentially it's a Disney park, which is like, Disney is in my opinion, any Disney park is an ultimate theme park. Disney in general is Disney World, Disneyland Paris, wherever. It's the ultimate theme park. I think it's mainly because it's Disney. It's $1 billion corporation. They have the means to make it the ultimate theme park. What I mean by an ultimate theme park is like, at the end of the day, to its core, it's an amusement park. It's a theme park. But since they are Disney, they have the IP, it brings nostalgia. They have the means to make it like the most themed environment. Their theming is just top notch. It's one of a kind. It is very world-class theming. And I think that's why Disney is the ultimate theme park. Because to be honest, I wasn't really a Disney person growing up. Like, yeah, I watched the movies, like naturally. Everyone watches the movies. But I'd never watched like the classics up until I was like an adult. I watched like Lion King when I was an adult. I watched Aladdin when I was an adult. That whole like Renaissance era, as they call it, I didn't watch any of those until I was an adult, full-blown adult. What I did watch was like, Disney Channel, the Disney Channel movies. I watched Toy Story 1,000,000 times. I think that was my first real love with Disney because I had it on VHS. That's one of my favorite movies. And then everything else on top of that, like, but yeah, I didn't really watch Disney as a kid. Just whatever was on TV is what I watched. So when I started going to the Disney theme parks, I was really blown away by the theming, truly and honestly, because I've been to many theme parks before that. But Disney is top notch. There's no real magic like Disney, as cliche as it sounds. There is like, Disney is just unbeatable. You cannot beat the monster of Disney. That sounds bad. Disney's not a monster, but you know what I mean. It's not monstrous. Let me stop using that word. Disney is unbeatable. Another, so before I think, I don't know, I go back and forth between Epcot and Disney California Adventure being the best Disney parks. I think in terms of Disney park, I think Disney California Adventure takes it because there's more to do. Because in Epcot, there's not much to do. It is really fun, but not as much to do as Disney California Adventure. Now, last year, my wife and I, we did Oogie Boogie Bash. And we had a few days planned out for the trip. I think we went in a total of 4 or 5 days to Disney parks. We had it scheduled as like we would do uh, Disney California Adventure the first day for Oogie Boogie Bash, and then we had it Disneyland the next day, and then I think back to Disney California Adventure, and then Disneyland the following day. Like we would go back and forth. So the first day we did Oogie Boogie Bash for Disney California Adventure. We loved it. Oogie Boogie Bash is the best party. I think is the best Disney party. Like it's better than Not So Scary Halloween. It's better than Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. I think Oogie Boogie Bash takes it. That party is amazing. Because I love the treat trails. I love interacting with the villains. It's just so fun. The overlays they have. It's just, there's nothing like it, to be honest with you. So we did Oogie Boogie Bash the first day. Then we went to Disneyland. And we left early because we were like bored of Disneyland. Disneyland was a little underwhelming to us. I think mainly because we went to Magic Kingdom so many times and we were so used to the Disney World bubble and Magic Kingdom itself that Disneyland was like, you know what I mean? I don't know if you know what I mean, but like I don't think Disneyland is as good as anything Disney World has to offer. Like I get it, it's the OG. It's the OG. But, you know, just because it's the OG doesn't make it better than anything else. I'm sorry if I'm offending you. But I don't really like Disneyland that much. I do like the Indiana Jones ride. That is a very fun ride. It's like dinosaur on crack. I do like the Disneyland version of Pirates more than the one at Magic Kingdom. I think because it's like 10 minutes longer or something like that. No, not 10 minutes, like 5 minutes longer. The queue for Runaway Railway at Disneyland is so much cooler than the one at Hollywood Studios. Like, I don't know why the one at Hollywood Studios, like, there's barely a queue. Like, you're just walking through the Chinese theater. Like, I get it. But the queue at Disneyland is so much more interactive. The little nods they do with the posters and everything, so cool. I love it. It's so much better. But yeah, because we left early the second day, we changed it from going back to Disneyland the last day to just doing the next 2 days of Disney's California Adventure because it was that fun. We love that park. It's so fun. I think it's also because it's kind of similar to Epcot in terms of the vibes. Like the vibes are there. The culture is there. Like with San Francisco, it's very immersive. The food is fantastic. That little section in the back, I don't know what it's called. I don't know if it was only for Oogie Boogie Bash because I'm not there often. I'm not too familiar with the park, but that, like, by the end of the Incredicoaster, which is a phenomenal ride, but at the end of it, towards the back, like where Goofy's ride is, that little mousetrap ride, it was Coco themed when we went last year. That section is awesome. I love the food there. They had the mariachi band going. The drinks there were great. It's just, you don't really get this type of culture in terms of food and drinks at any other park. Epcot and DCA, the best places to get food and culture and drinks, in my opinion. On top of that, there's Radiator Springs, which is phenomenal. I love that movie. Cars 1, 2, and 3, so good. The ride is so fun. Always ride that ride. We rode it like 3 or 4 times. And we bought the Lightning Lane every time. That ride is phenomenal. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, the overlay of Monsters After Dark, so fun. Avengers Campus is so cool. I love Marvel. I don't know if my head is blocking it, but there's a Deadpool over here. Right there. There's Deadpool. I have a bunch of other stuff behind the camera, but for the visual people, that's my guy. I love Deadpool. He's my favorite. Spider-Man's also my favorite too. His ride is okay. His ride is, it's a little fun, little shooter type of thing. Your hands hurt after a while. Like, you know, it's trying to shoot webs and stuff. But yeah, there are other parks that I that are like near and dear to my heart, like Six Flags New England, like I said earlier, Lake Compounce, like I said earlier, because those were the parks that I went to all the time as a kid growing up. A lot of summers, friends and family, we'd all just go hit the parks, ride the rides. It was always a fun time. Theme parks are just awesome. For the love of theme parks. Like I said, theme parks are a place where I can just escape. I have a trip coming up as of recording this. By the time this releases, you probably will already have seen clips of me. Oh man, I forgot to upload a TikTok. I'm gonna do that right now on camera. But yeah, if you're not following me on TikTok, please, it's at ParkHopperChris. Follow me on TikTok. But yeah, I do have a trip coming up as of recording this. The trip is in a few days. By the time this episode comes out, this podcast, I mean, you will probably have already seen footage from the trip. But yeah, we are going to Epic Universe for the first time, which I'm very excited for. Ever since it came out in May, I remember hearing them or seeing them announce Epic Universe. It was a few years ago. It was at my first job. That's when they announced it. I was at my first job and I was just blown away. I was like, wow, this place is going to be awesome. And look at it. Years later, it looks fantastic. We are very excited for Berk because we're huge fans of How to Train Your Dragon, especially my wife. You could see in the back for the visual people, there's a Toothless poster. That's my wife's side of the office over there. There's another Toothless poster. It's when we saw the recent live action adaptation in IMAX. They gave us an IMAX poster, which is really cool. She has a bunch of other like How to Train Your Dragon figurines and stuff. But yeah, we're very excited to meet Toothless. We're very excited to ride Hiccup's Wing Gliders. We're also very excited for Super Nintendo World, seeing Mario and Toad and everybody, and hopefully we get to ride Stardust Racers. Hopefully we get to ride Monsters Unchained, because we know how the lines could be. Yeah, because hopefully it's not a busy day when we go. Hopefully, we're hoping, but we're very excited. We're hitting Epic Universe finally for the first time. So we're actually going because it's my wife's birthday, and it was her request that she wants to do Epic Universe and Epcot. Those are the two places she wanted to do. And we're actually going with friends for the first time to Disney, I should say, to Orlando. We've never been to Disney with friends. And we wanted to show them Disney for the longest time. We wanted to show them the ropes. We wanted to show them how fun Epcot could be. Because when we hang out, we go grab drinks, we go eat food, we just go hang out, chill. Sometimes we get a little crazy. And so we kind of want to bring that energy to Epcot, which is the perfect place for them to experience. Some of them haven't been to Disney ever, so it'll be cool to watch them experience it for the first time, because it's like showing a baby something for the first time. It's like, hey, look at this, and they're gonna be like, wow, this is amazing. It's so fun to show people things for the first time, especially if you think they're gonna love it. Yeah, so we're very excited. That's in a couple days as of recording this. I might vlog, maybe. I don't know. It'll be hard because I want to focus on, because usually it's just my wife and I, so it's easy to just because we know what we're gonna do. But now it's gonna be a group of people. It's gonna be hard to navigate everybody. Like, it kind of feels like we're chaperones on a school field trip, like taking care of the children and showing them where to go, what to do, and stuff like that. Because Disney is complicated. Theme parks, like big theme parks in general. No, let me say, Disney is complicated. It's one of the most complicated things in the world. Like showing people how to Disney as a verb, because Disney can be a verb, to be honest. There's a lot of nuances. There's a lot of There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of things to book. There's a lot of things to look out for. Like if you wanna meet a character, you have to know where they're gonna be and when they're gonna be, and when is the best time to get in the queue, because you don't wanna spend the whole day in that queue. If you wanna like on a party day, if you want to experience the overlays, you want to know the best time to ride the ride, or you want to know the best time to line up at a good spot for the fireworks, because that alone, you have to spend at least an hour of just waiting to find a good spot. You get there, you wait about an hour before the fireworks show up, and you're just sitting there waiting for the fireworks, waiting for the parade or whatever to get a good spot. It's really hard, like, because an hour or plus out of your day goes to that. And a lot of people don't know what to do. They don't know how to work the My Disney Experience app. They don't know how to book reservations. They don't know how to book lightning lanes. It's all very tricky. There's kind of a science to it in a way. It took us a while to figure things out. We're still slowly trying to figure things out. A Disney trip, there's a lot of research. A lot of research you have to do if you want it to make it the perfect day. If you want to, get your money's worth, because Disney is expensive as hell. It is an arm and a leg to get there. But yeah, Disney can be a headache sometimes. As much as I love it, it's stressful. But in the end, everything leading up to it is stressful, but when we're there, it's the best time of our lives. And we get to show our friends why we love going there. And we might just turn them into Disney people. We might turn them into Disney adults, which is kind of our plan. Because, maybe we could start going with our friends to Disney more often, which will be pretty fun. But yeah, I think I yapped enough. I hope my everything is recording. Yeah, it's recording. All right, we're cool. So episode 1 of Q Conversations, I think, is in the books. Yeah, like I said before, I'm not sure how often I will be doing this podcast. I will try to push it out as much as I can. If you really enjoyed this conversation, hit the like, subscribe, follow wherever you're listening. I'm going to try to have some guests. Hopefully they say yes. If you want to be a guest, feel free to reach out. Could try to work something out. I don't mind a conversation with more people. It'll be great. It'll be fun. It'll be fantastic. Thank you all for listening, for watching, for subscribing, liking, commenting, all that good stuff. Until next time, I'll see you in the queue.